Hi there, my name is Nova and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on FireAlpaca. If you don't know what it is, it's a free program. You can just search for FireAlpaca, go to the site and download it for free. No crack version, so you don't need to risk your computer getting a virus. It's free in the sense of GIMP and Medibang, and it's very similar to Medibang, so consider this a Medibang tutorial as well. Now, for the basics, we will open up a new canvas. What you can do with your canvases is either open a recent file, which I have here. You can open a file as long as you haven't deleted it or changed where it is location-wise. You can open one of the files that's already on your computer here to just draw over it or edit it. Then you can open new via clipboards, which means that if you copy-pasted an image, you can just open a new one. You can, or just do a new one. And we're gonna do a new one. So here we have our size. You can either do it in pixels, centimeters, or inches. And we're just already have it there, so we'll just have it 1000 by 1000. You can do reverse width and height, but we're not going to do that since the sizes are literally the same. Keep the resolution as is, you don't need to change that. Then for background color, you can make it transparent, or you can make it have a color. See here? And then just click here, and then just drag it around. For this case, we're just going to make it transparent. If you want to change it, don't worry. You can go to view, and then hit background color, and then change the background color. Here's also a history of all your previous canvas sizes. So, you can, if you have a previous canvas size that you want to use, you can use it. You can also delete your history, but I don't see what kind of difference that makes. So we'll hit OK, and we have our 1000 by 1000 size. I'm opening the program as if I had just downloaded it, so that's why some things are as is. Now, first we have our panels, sort of, but let's go over those. So first we have brush preview. Here you can mess around with your brushes in the brush menu, and you can just change the size, you can do whatever you want, basically. With your brushes here, change opacity, which is, the transparency, and then you can change the size. Settings are here for the brushes, but I'll leave you to change your brush settings. This is your brush menu. This has all the different types of brushes, and let's just go over all the brushes right now. So this is the floofy brush. This is the pen brush. This is the fade in, fade out. This is the eraser. This is the pencil. This is the edge pen. This is the airbrush. This is the watercolor. This is the blur, which kind of blurs it into each other. This is the smudge. And this is the Fire Alpaca brush. Pretty cool, right? And you can undo all of these by using this button or Control Z, and you can redo it with this button right here. But what happens if you want to make a new brush? Well, you would go here to this page, and you can either make a new pen, airbrush, eraser, watercolor, blur, smudge, or edge pen. Then you can just edit it to your heart's content, but we're not going to do that. We'll leave that to you. Then you can make a bitmap brush. What a bitmap brush is basically you can take an image and make a brush out of that image, and that's what I'm going to do right here. Ta-da! This represents my mood a lot of the time. Now, that's basically it. You can also make a script brush, but I don't have any brush scripts, and you'll have to do some digging for that. Then there's a brush group, which means you can kind of just put all your brushes into a folder, into one group. I messed that up while scrolling, sorry. So, see, you can just close it like you would a folder in a regular art program, and then if you want to delete something, then you would delete the group by right-clicking and hitting delete. You can duplicate a brush over here, and then it will just automatically go to the bottom. And you can delete a brush by hitting the garbage can and just say, okay, I want to delete. Color is pretty basic in of itself. Just drag it around to get the set color, and bing, bada, boom, you are fine. Then there is your palette. You can see, you just hit this paper button here, and then you can add the color. Then you can say, okay, if you want to delete the color, then hit the trash can, and then you can delete the color. You can also name the color, but I don't really do that. Then there is reference. Reference will allow you to basically go into your files, and then you can just choose an image to reference off of. You can also hit, you can hit, see? And then something else you could do, oh no wait, I'll introduce that later. But basically what you can do here is you can choose the color, you can zoom in and out, stuff like that. And you can, basically do that. You can delete it, and then you can keep it. So I'm just going to delete this. Then there's the navigator. I navigate with my mouse, so I don't really use this except for when I want the degree to be perfect. But here you can just zoom. You can change the angle. You can change the size. And then you can hit this normal looking magnifying glass to get it back to normal size, and this thing to get it back to normal looking degree. Then you can flip it, but I don't recommend doing this. And then you can just bloop. Then there's layer. Layer, just you can add all different types of layers, and then you're done. You'll always have one layer when you have a canvas open. Then you can also change the effect of the layer, but that's for later. You can experiment on your own. Protect alpha means this. So let's just say I draw the squiggly, but I want to color the squiggly. So I would just do this and hit protect alpha, and then I could just color on top of it. Then for clipping, it only works when you have two layers. So let me just do this. Lock means you can't do anything to it, but let's just say we'll make a new layer, clipping, and then it's sort of like protect alpha, but you can do it on another layer. This helps a lot with shading. So let's just delete the layer, hit undo, undraw this. I'm abusing the undo button. So that's our panels. But let us go to our tools. So here we have our brush, which you've gotten into pretty easily. So let's just draw squiggly. Then this is our eraser. So we can just erase. You can change the size of it. I prefer using this eraser than the one in the brush menu for obvious reasons. It's just easier to change around with. Then there's the pixel one. So you can just basically use this for pixel art. I don't recommend doing this on a huge canvas because you can barely see anything. So see, pixel art. Oh, don't forget with your brushes, you can do this thing called anti-aliasing. And so it goes from, if you turn it on, then it looks like a normal brush. But if you turn it off, then it will become pixely. And that looks pretty cool. So let's just put it back on anti-aliasing. And then we have this thing. So let's just have our thing. And so we can drag it around, which is pretty cool. Then we have this. So just, yeah, you can just make a rectangle. As such, you can make the corners round if you want, but we're not going to do that. So then we have the paint bucket, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can just hit the space you want to fill, and then you can fill it. You can also have it expand by a few pixels. So if you don't want it to expand at all and make it look like trash, you can have it expand to no pixels. If you want it to look okay, then just expand 1 pixel. Want to have it expand by a lot, then expand by 3 pixels. Now obviously for coloring, you just want to put it on a layer beneath, so it looks nice. Then we have the gradient brush. Oof. So basically what the gradient does, and it turns it as is, see? It makes a nice little gradient. So that's pretty cool. Now we have this. We have the square selector. That's what I call it. So then you can just take this and do this. Or you can just erase. To your heart's desire. This can either make it, this is so it's nice and straight, or, you know, you can do it in a preset shape or in a polygon. This is just the lasso, which, you know, it doesn't make it as neat looking. So, if you want it to be more precise, use the squarey one, and then use the lasso if you don't want it to be more precise. You can also make it look like a rectangle, ellipse, which is just a fancy term for oval or circle, then a polygon, which means you can just do these, and you can make as many sides as you desire. Oh shoot, I deleted the squiggly! Okay, let's just make a new squiggly quickly. This is the magic wand tool. You can also make this expand like the paintbrush, and what it will do is, of the color, it will select it, and so you can do these. Pretty cool, right? Then here you can draw your selection source, which is pretty cool. You can just draw it and then do this, and then do this, and then you can erase it. Here is where you erase your selection source. So see, I'm just gonna erase it. This takes input from the brushes, so if you have the fluffy pen, then it will draw like the fluffy pen. If you have it like the airbrush, then it will draw like the airbrush, and thus you can erase like the airbrush. I'm not being very clear, and I'm being kind of vague here, but Anyways, so now we have covered these. Now we will go on to these. This is the text. So I have it on. Oh wait, where did my determination mono go? Okay, this is determination mono. So what you do is just you choose your text color. Okay, you hit OK, and then you just type. You can also change your text size. See? Text layers are also a bit special. You can't draw on a text layer. You can draw on a normal one, but you can't draw on a text layer. So we'll just get rid of the text layer, and just that's it. I have no idea how this brush works at all. This is also the color picker upper tool. So you could either go here, or you can right click. Okay, so I'm probably allergic to something right now. But basically what you do is you just color pick with this, or you can right click. Sorry for sneezing. This is also the selector tool, which doesn't move your thing. It doesn't move the thing on the layer, but it moves rather your whole canvas. So it's kind of like the navigator, but not really. Same effect here. So, I mean, this you don't really even need. You can just right click for your color selector, and for this you could just use the damn navigator. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you have these things up here. As you can see, they vary. For starters, these things are called snaps. Wait, I need to undo all these things. So snaps basically allow you to draw like this. It's sort of, yeah. Then there's these bunch of different snaps, so you can use it to your heart's content. Helps you out with lines. So do 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 do. Da, 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 da. This is, I guess, for perspective. This one is just to go to a certain point. This one is for circles. This one is, you know, just to curve. So, yeah. Then you have, I guess, for perspective, sort of. I don't know how this one works. So yeah, that's basically it, and you can turn it off. You can also make shapes, so, you know, like line tools you can abuse. Just make it for one line here. For polygon, then you can just make it a shape, so yeah. It doesn't fill in though. For polyline, it's the line tool, but you know, you can't just use it once, use it multiple times. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then there is rectangle, where you can just drag and it makes a rectangle or square. Ellipse, where it makes a circle or oval. Then you have curve, which is just like bloop, 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 bloop. Boom. Let's go back to freehand. I already told you about anti-aliasing, but what is this thing here? Why does my lines look bad? Why do they look all clunky? Well, it's this thing called correction. Correction makes your lines go smoother, yet also slower. So this is my correction at 0, and this is my correction at 40. It looks nicer, right? Yeah, pretty much nicer. And is that pretty much it? Yeah, this is pretty much it for FireAlpaca. Oh, what about these things? Well, edit means, well, this is basically undo redo, and you can use Control Y to redo. Copy and paste, you can just use your Control C, Control V. Rotate left, rotate right, you can just use this. Image size and canvas size, what is the difference? So let me just draw a squiggly here for comparison's sake, I guess. I don't know. And then we'll just edit the canvas. The canvas will make the thing itself smaller. So let's just say I want to make this 700. Boom. It would make the width smaller, or the height, depending on what I want it to do. Now let's go to image size. Now the current size is 1000 by 1000. But we could make this 3000, and we'll make it like way bigger, so that's cool. But let's just undo it. We want to go back to our original thing. So yeah, then we can do a filter, and this is more experimental. I don't really know how to use a lot of things here, but you know, hue is like for saturation, brightness, stuff like that. It's obviously not going to have much effect considering this is black. Then you have select, which you can use to transform, and you can either transform size, position, stuff like that. You can also change the perspective, which is cool. But we're not going to really do anything, so yeah. Then we have color, which is you can either have a color wheel or you can have a color bar. Palette, lock palette, don't really do anything there. Swap or initialize or make it transparent is just hits this thing over here, so doesn't really matter. Then we have view. View can make you zoom out, fit to window size. I want it to fit to window size right now. This is pretty much stuff that you can find on the navigation. These things up here are pretty much the windows, but on the top, so yeah. Then you can have a pixel grid, which, you know, what happens if you zoom in really a lot, you can see the pixels, you can see the pixel grid. Then you have brush size. It's the little, so you see the little circle that shows you the brush size? Yeah, that's what it is. I always keep that on so I can see my brush size. Then there's onion skin mode, which is like if you want to animate, then do this. See, and then we'll go to view, and then let's do autoplay. See, this is literally animation, because you can animate in FireAlpaca, which is cool. But we're not going to animate today. This is just for drawing and stuff. But, you know, animation's always cool. So we'll just turn onion skin mode off. Tool just shows you the tools, and you can select them, but you can just select them here, so it's pretty much a waste. Window is like these things on the sides. I have brush size off because like it's useless. I don't really use it. I just scroll up and down. So yeah. Then there's help. You can just go to the site and you can restore presets. This is how you restore preset brushes. So it's like if I deleted one of the preset brushes, then I could just put it back and I'd be done. So yeah, that's basically my tutorial to FireAlpaca for beginners. I really hope you liked it, and I hope it's useful for you. If you have any questions down below, then yeah. One day I'll probably just do a tutorial on how I draw in general. This was not that, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it comes of use to you one day. And yeah, this is Nova, and I'm signing off.